but I decided to narrow it down to 10 only. Sausage Party. It wasn't that bad, but I really didn't like it. It was too weird for me. The animation wasn't good. The story was very predictable. All around, not so great movie. Ice Age Collision Course. Waste of great animation, not funny, too childish. Basically a rehash of every single other Ice Age movie. 50 Shades of Black. Also not funny. Could have been such a great parody of a bad other movie, but it just became bad itself. Fell into basically the same shit story. It wasn't funny, very awkward. There was one scene with a couple whips. I thought that was funny, and that was probably the only single chuckle or smirk I even gave. The Forest. Too many jump scares, too many dream sequences. The story was actually quite entertaining, but it was very watered down by these dream sequences and jump scares that just made it cliche. Gods of Egypt. Definitely would have made number 1 on my list, but I didn't think it was fair because this movie is so bad. It's so good. It's so funny. It takes itself so seriously. It's so fucking stupid that you can't not laugh. It's not fair to put this movie on the list. It's so bad. Batman v Superman. This movie is dumb. None of the character motivations make any sense. The scenes are incomplete. The visuals were nice. And Ben Affleck's Batman was nice too. But other than that, I thought this movie was just a big waste of my time. Remember, this is my list, so you don't have to agree with it. But if you have any changes to my list, or if you want to share your own list, put it in the comment section. We actually got 1 best list last time. Thank you for whoever put that up there onto the list. Batman the Killing Joke. Uselessly rated R. The first act and the second act literally have no correlation to each other. It's like watching 2 different movies in one. Killing Joke was not long enough to be made into a movie, and I feel like the second part even dragged on a little bit too long. Carnival creatures were definitely a weird look on Batman. Batgirl was uselessly set up because she just got shot later on. The first part of the movie is also very stupid, with the criminal hitting on Batgirl is very creepy. The movie's very awkward. Batman has sex with Batgirl. That's fucking weird. I don't want to see that. Joker sings a song to James Gordon. It just looked a lot less artsy. The Killing Joke was considered Batman's greatest comic book is because the visual imagery, but in the movie they just take that away from it and it doesn't look very good. Batman is pretty cool, but he's barely in it. Batman doesn't really talk, so you don't really care about him. And the title is lying to you. It's not Batman Killing Joke. It might as well be Batgirl Killing Joke. But then Batgirl disappears and it transfers to Batman. It's a disgrace to the animated series days. Ride Along 2 wasn't funny. Kevin Hart was annoying. Ken Jeong was annoying. Ice Cube was annoying. The editing was awful. The story was stupid. This movie is so fucking boring. The Fifth Wave. Chloe Grace Moretz, awful actress in this movie. Plot is predictable. It's stupid. The Jurassic Park Kids Army Squad is very bland, but it's a big part of the story, even though you don't give a shit about it. Another love triangle, fucking cliche as shit. This movie is just basically a copy of The Hunger Games. Independence Day Resurgence. It's forced, it's boring, it lacks any emotional weight whatsoever. They set up a sequel, not even Jeff Goldblum can save it. Assassin's Creed. Proof that video game movies are fucked. It was a waste of talent. Jeremy Irons, Michael Fassbender. This movie's boring. It makes no sense. The action scenes are cut so awfully. It's very jumpy. And if you like shitty action sequences, then you'd love this movie. Could have been made into something better. Zoolander II. Very dated references, tries to piggyback on the success of his first one. Wasn't funny, very awkward, not to mention the plot is also very cliche, and it's hard to get sucked into the story whatsoever. Suicide Squad. This movie is an atrocity in every single way a movie can be. The first act is so awfully edited with all these random purple and pink lights all over the place. They basically spell out every single character for you. There's a bunch of shitty music in the background that doesn't fit the scene whatsoever. The first act should have just been turned into a Batman movie. Second act is incredibly boring because the characters don't learn anything about each other because we already know everything about these characters because it was spelled out for us. So these characters don't talk at all. They just shoot CGI blobs and pretend to be family and try to be funny. Everything is just so cringy. The jokes aren't good. And there's one scene where they get to learn something about each other, but it's very rushed, I feel, and you can tell that there's a lot of stuff cut out of it. Third act is incredibly stupid. There's no setup to it whatsoever. It's boring. It's another cliche Portal in the Sky movie. It's awful. 9 Lives. This movie has some actual good talent behind it. Director of Men in Black, Kevin Spacey, Christopher Walken, they've all proved themselves to be pretty funny people. This movie's premise is fucking stupid, but it could open itself up to some good jokes. It just doesn't. Nothing about it is funny except for the fact how bad it is. A couple dirty jokes are funny, but they are awkward at times as well. This movie shouldn't have been made, and that's why I think it's becoming really popular on the internet, is because it's so fucking strange that this movie was even created with this type of talent. There's so much stupid shit that happens in this movie, and I don't want to spoil it, but you have to watch it for yourself. It's a must-see, but it's also a really bad movie, so prepare yourself. Dirty Grandpa. This movie is so awkward. Holy shit. I don't want to see Zac Efron act as Robert De Niro's grandson and then go around to parties doing drugs and having sex with a bunch of different women. I don't want to see that. It just gave me like a bad feeling in my stomach. Like if I would do this shit with my grandpa, I've never met my grandpa by the way, but I'm just saying if I did, I would never want to do that shit with him. And the relationship between Aubrey Plaza and Robert De Niro is just one of the worst things that could have ever been put to film. This movie's disgusting. It just gives you this awful feeling. Norm of the North, because it's a shittily animated movie that was supposed to go on direct to DVD and has a polar bear voiced by Rob Schneider. I wanted to be more lenient with this movie, but it's so bad. The animation is awful. The story is fucking stupid. It's like one of those Pocahontas bullshit where save the environment, but is very, very forced in its message. This movie was clearly created to get money from kids' parents, and it's created for kids, so I was trying to be lenient, but the fact that this movie even got made and brought to theaters, that's the reason why I hate it so much. Who even would trust Rob Schneider by himself? He's not even funny when he's with other people, but by himself to carry this shittily animated movie that literally nobody wanted to make, I'm sure. It's the worst movie of the year. Like, I want to lie and I want to put lower, but I can't put it lower. God damn, it's so bad. Holy shit, I don't even know what else to say. It's just awful. Comment your list below. See y'all next time, back with another video. It's probably going to be the Spider-Man Homecoming or the Deadpool review. That shit's coming along. I promise you guys, it's coming. And see y'all next time. Bye. I know that a lot of people are going to be mad that I put Suicide Squad on this list, so fuck you, that movie's awful and you know it is.